700 people here. Imagine there's no freedom. It's easy if you try. No freedom in Great Britain. And no freedom on YouTube because they're a bunch of fascist psychopaths who can't have a discussion. It's been too long, so we jumped the gun on that, but it's okay since no one's really watching this anyway. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, MK. Talk about Tommy Robinson. I really want to know. All right, we could do that. I'm trying to. Cheers from Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia. What's going on? Karen from Rhode Island. What's up, Caroline? Double Caroline. We got dual Carolines in the house. All right. Can't wait to download this on iTunes. Yeah, this one's not going to make iTunes. I'm sorry, guys. Lenin was a communist. All right, let's settle down, guys. Has Anomaly touched on the Epstein situation? Yeah, I did. I did a whole stream on it, and I cut part of it out because it was like 2 hours, and it's on YouTube, so I weighed in on it. You remind me of my best friend. You look just like him, buddy. Thanks, Andy. Wake up. All right, let's just start it up. I don't live stream that much at this time at night, but... So I'll give you an update real quick for those asking. My foot's okay. I still can't really walk easily, so it's taking longer than I expected, but it's all good. It is very frustrating. That's why I haven't been doing that many videos. It's hard to walk, go to the bathroom, get food. I mean, it's been a very troubling couple weeks for the boy, but you know, let's focus on the good. It's definitely not been easy, but it could be worse. The story I want to talk about today is out of England or Great Britain. It's about Tommy Robinson. If you guys don't know, he's been, I guess, sentenced to, it looks like 9 months in prison. It looks like he might not have to serve that whole sentence. So the whole reason he's getting censored is because he was filming outside a courthouse of what he and many others would classify as pedophiles, although Muslim pedophiles. I don't know if I can say that anymore. You know, certain religions you can't say. Anyway, he was filming outside the courthouse, and they said that he was inciting violence towards them, and also he's not allowed to film during a court case, and I'm not familiar with Great Britain or the United States rules. Are you allowed to film during a court case? I know a lot of times when there's big trials here, all of the journalists are outside saying, hey, what's going on, what's going on, what's going on? But apparently in Great Britain, if you're the only journalist doing that, it's illegal. We could talk about that all day. Obviously, you know, prayers to your boy Tommy Robinson. I hope everything's okay. Seems like a harsh sentence for somebody filming. But I want to talk about it in a different way because you could read all sorts of articles if you want to read about his sentencing. The craziest thing that's happening with Tommy Robinson outside of that is the fact that YouTube is not only deleting his channel, but they're deleting everybody's channel who talks about Tommy Robinson. So they've also, I believe, taken his book off of Amazon. So this is so crazy. This is like book burning of fascist totalitarian governments. And I know a lot of people say, well, not only they're a private corporation, they're not a government. Let's just explain it for a second. So Tommy Robinson, his channel got deleted for hate speech. Okay, you delete the guy's channel. I don't agree with that, but they did that. Now what they're doing is deleting anybody who posts a video of Tommy Robinson. So you can't find Tommy's channel. If you go to someone else's channel to try to find Tommy talking, they say it's taken down. My friend Cassandra Fairbanks, she has a strike. They very rarely take strikes against your channel. It's hard to do on YouTube. They put a strike against her channel, so if she does it again, she's banned, she's censored, demonetized, whatever. It's nutty. And then on top of that, they've been, which I've been explaining for months, they've already rigged Google's search algorithm. So a couple months ago, if you search for Tommy Robinson, you're going to find the highest ranked video, whether it's a left-winger like Jimmy Dore, who's probably not talking about it, but if it's a right-winger like Mark Dice, there's videos with millions of views that are higher ranked, higher liked, higher commented. Those used to come to the top. Now, YouTube has rigged the entire algorithm, so you see The Guardian, CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, BBC. So the amount of rigging and information control that they're doing around not only Tommy Robinson, but other things is delete his channel, delete and penalize anybody who has him on their channel, and then rig the search algorithm so if somehow one of his videos or my perspective never gets through, even if I get 1 million views, you're never going to see my video in the top 20 because Google has rigged the entire search algorithm. This is insane for many reasons. I understand Google's a private company. I'm not saying they're a government, but Google has more power possibly than the Roman Empire. Google has not only huge control over markets in the United States, but in China and all over the world. They are, actually, I'm not so sure about China. I know they have a lot of censorship, but the amount of influence, Google can crush entire economies. Google can change the course of history through social engineering. So I'm not talking about what they are right now as opposed to you could say this, that. I'm not talking about government interference. Just as a human to human, moral conversation, what Google's doing is literally insane. So the guy's in jail. He can't defend himself. He can't talk for himself. And no one else can post videos of him speaking. They're doing this to not just Tommy Robinson. They did it to Alex Jones. They delete Alex Jones off of YouTube. And then the top 20 searches are things they want you to see about Alex Jones. So they won't let you see, some of the highest viewed stuff. And they also do it with Trump, Tulsi Gabbard, anybody left or right. They've rigged the entire platform so the first 10 to 50 to 60 videos you see are not the highest viewed, are not the highest ranked, are not the most commented. They're all mainstream media insane lies about it, so you can't even find an alternative perspective even if it goes left wing or right wing. This is so nutty. So with the Tommy Robinson case, of course it's awful he's in jail. Of course it's debatable if what they charged him for is even real. But the biggest thing I see outside of that, which no one's talking about, is the fact that they're controlling. I mean, think about if they could send you to jail, you can't talk for yourself, you can't have a platform, and no one else can show a video of you talking. They're trying to rig history, rig the present moment. And this type of stuff, I would say it's going to backfire because it really makes you question what happened in history. I used to read the history books and be like, oh, this definitely happened. World War I, this happened, blah, blah, blah. George Washington. I'm not saying I don't believe any of it, but they're trying to rig the present moment more than I've ever seen in my life. So how am I supposed to believe what happened 100, 200 years ago? It's probably all fabricated. Brexit is another thing that happened in Europe. I know you guys are probably familiar with it. A lot of Europeans, for this reason, you can't talk, you can't have an opinion, you can't do a Facebook post, you can't say rapist or rapist, you can't question on certain religions. People started to get tired of it. They wanted Britain to be less, of a, monotone slave mentality sort of place. So they voted for the Brexit party, Nigel Farage, more right-wing stuff. I don't remember exactly what network it is, but they're trying to do a documentary or a series on Brexit before it even happened. They voted for it. Nobody put it into place. So it's something that they should be doing that they're not even doing. And then they put out a TV show about it. Say, this is what you need to think about Brexit. And then Tommy Robinson's like, hey, I have a different perspective on Brexit. You're deleted. And everybody else who has you on their channel is deleted and striked. And then anybody who weighs in on it and is better and smarter and more successful than us, we're going to bury it to the bottom so nobody can see it. This is nefarious. This is extremely authoritarian. Google, as we all know, as well as a lot of these other tech companies, have legitimately lost their minds. It's nutty what they're doing. And they're going to swallow up the progressive, left as well, as long anything that's not part of the corporate agenda. I also wanted to say, on this same note of rigging history, lying about everything, throwing people in jail, and then censoring their views, there's a new documentary out or a show on Showtime about Roger Ailes. If you don't know who Roger Ailes was, he was a head honcho at Fox News. And this is how nefarious and sick these people are. Keep in mind, I'm not a big fan of Roger Ailes. I know nothing about him. I'm not a big Fox News fan at all. I don't watch it. I don't have a television. I never liked it historically. The dude dies. They smear him while he's alive. The dude dies. Within a couple months, within under a year, they have a documentary further smearing him, further talking about who he was. I'm sure they're missing a lot of points. I'm sure there's no counter argument. He doesn't get to speak for himself because he's not alive. But this is who these people are, whether it's Roger Ailes, Alex Jones, Brexit, Donald Trump, Tulsi Gabbard. It's not just that they want to lie about who Donald Trump is. It's not just that they want to smear Tulsi Gabbard and not talk about her most impressive things. It's not that they want to hate on Roger Ailes when maybe, you know, he wasn't the greatest guy or whatever you want to say. They want to make it impossible for you to speak, you to have a platform, and then they want to make it impossible for anybody to disagree with them. And then it's these same people who are saying, oh my God, the right wing is so fascist. Why? Because they want to film a court case or, you know, have freedom and low taxes and personal responsibility, and they want to salute to the flag. I'll never vote for any of these people again. I mean, Google has lost their freaking minds. We could talk about it all day, but the point I'm really trying to drive home, which is really important, that a lot of conservative pundits or liberal pundits aren't going to talk about. Yes, he's in jail. Yes, all this stuff's going on. It's not great. But the craziest thing is they're not only deleting his videos, but anybody else who posts a video of him speaking, and then they're burying everything else to the bottom. Google is rigged beyond belief. YouTube is rigged beyond belief, the search engine. Every one of these websites is rigged beyond belief, and they still can't win because they're fighting against the will of the people. So I want to, as I always do, and then we'll do a little question and answer, have a little talk for a little. I got time since I can't really walk. This is going to backfire, but also it really exposes probably what they've been doing for 100 years. If I live in the present and I see Brexit for myself, and I see Tommy Robinson for myself, and I see Donald Trump for myself, and then I see how you try to censor him, silence anybody who likes us, and rewrite the history that I'm witnessing unfold now, it makes me realize, and millions of people realize, first of all, not to trust any corporate media, not to trust any tech company, but also it really makes you wonder, is this true? Did this really happen in the 1700s? Did this really happen in the 1800s as they said it was? Did this really happen in the 1900s like they said it did? Or have they been doing this for centuries? Have they been lying, manipulating, burning books, threatening people, putting speech laws so you can't say it? I'm not Tommy Robinson. Me and Tommy Robinson are very, very different in probably many, many ways. But his big crime is filming a court case that they didn't want out. But the real reason they're mad is because they don't want anybody to have a counter argument to what they say at all. They don't want you to exist. They don't want you free. They want to take control of pretty much everything. And if you even disagree, this is a look to the future of America. If we have, a government that plays along with Google, we are blessed out of our minds. And I hope that progressive left-leaning people who watch my channel and still like me understand. Imagine if Google, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, imagine if they're working, they are in many ways, but imagine if they had the same agenda as the government. You are lucky as a progressive, Bernie Sanders and Tulsi Gabbard supporter, you're lucky beyond your wildest imagination to have Donald Trump as a chink in the chain from total control. You're screwed if a Democrat ever wins again. You're screwed if a liberal wins. I'm sorry. It's game, set, match for America. First Amendment gone, bad short outcomings. Luckily, Americans are more prepared for this kind of stuff, but I'm trying to avoid a civil war. I'm trying to avoid, mass chaos. But with what they're doing to Tommy Robinson and what they're doing with Google, we are in for a rude awakening if these type of people ever take over our government. So God bless your boy Donald Trump. God bless his 2020 election. More so now than ever. We could talk about all this stuff. We could talk about welfare. We could talk about healthcare. We could talk about the border. That's all great. But the First Amendment, the freedom to say what you want to say. If Trump was a dictator and if you said anti-Trump stuff and he brought the whole weight of the world down and got you arrested, that's not a good look. He doesn't do that. You're allowed to talk bad about him on MSNBC. You're allowed to be a musician and talk bad about him. Imagine if speaking out against the government got you arrested or thrown in jail. Welcome to Great Britain. Welcome to Germany. Welcome to Sweden. Welcome to Europe. Welcome to many parts of Canada. We don't want that in the United States of America. I don't care about your policy preferences. If you don't understand the power of the first two amendments, you're going to learn very, very quickly, because what Google is doing is extremely authoritarian, and God knows what else they're doing. But to delete someone's videos and to delete how bad is Tommy Robinson? Is he the worst, craziest, meanest person out? Of course not. I mean, look at CNN and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. They've radicalized people to the point where they're going to the border with bombs, trying to kill mostly Hispanics who work for the United States government. They're radicalizing people. These tech companies these politicians who act like they're holier than thou, no one radicalizes people like them. And I'm just letting you guys know. So that's enough for that. I could talk about it all day, but that's the point I really wanted to get across. I'm going to say it one more time. Google's deleting Tommy Robinson's channels. Google is deleting and giving strikes to any channel of an independent journalist, even if you're left-leaning. If you even talk to Tommy Robinson or have a conversation or have his videos, they've made him a toxic figure. He's in jail, can't talk to him, can't have a conversation with him, can't play him. Everything he says is bad. Of course, that's not true. That's not what freedom of speech is about. It's not what YouTube's about. They let the most insane psychopathic people talk all day. They just don't want people to be right-leaning or question certain narratives. And the fact that they're doing all of that on top of rigging the search algorithm, so then you can't even find alternate opinions, people need to at least know what's going on. And a lot of people don't know how to, they're like, what's going on? That's what's going on with YouTube. So now we'll do a question and answer for about 20-30 minutes for you guys. If you guys have any other questions for me,